Good morning. Monetary policy. Actually, monetary policy is also known as credit policy. Credit policy. Now, what do you mean by monetary policy? It is the policy, if you want, please write it down. It is the policy of RBI. RBI means Reserve Bank of India. Alright, policy framed by RBI regarding regulation of money, and cost of credit. Clear? Two things are there. First, regulation of money and cost of credit. Clear? In the economy. Again, I am repeating, monetary policy is the policy framed by RBI regarding the regulation of money supply. Clear? Money supply it is. Regarding money supply as well as the cost of credit. This means what rate of interest will be there, how much money will be supplied in the market, all these, alright, how much money they have with them, everything they calculate, and this comes under monetary policy. Clear? Now, monetary policy of a country mainly relates to the following points. See the points. Points related to the monetary policy. Clear? Points related to the monetary policy of a country. First point is the volume of money. Now, how much money they have, alright, or how much money is circulated, how much their money in their market, how much money is there in the bank, all these comes under volume of money. Second important, the availability of credit. The availability of credit. Now, what do availability of credit? This means how much credit can be given in which sector. Many sectors are there, alright, like IT sector, agriculture sectors, housing sector, many sectors are there. Now, government will see the availability of the credit in which sector, how much it is. Clear? And the third one, which is very important, I told you just now, cost of borrowing. Cost of borrowing is also known as rate of interest. How much rate of interest is prevailing in the market? Because this also affect, because for many people are there, if the rate of interest is less, then only they come to take the loan, otherwise they will not come. Clear? Now come to the public sector. Public enterprise or public sector enterprise, the same thing. Public sector enterprise. Alright. Now again, if you want, please write it, jot it down. Public sector enterprise are those enterprises which are owned and managed by government. Clear? Public sector enterprise are those enterprises which are owned and managed by government. Clear? Now, what are the roles? Alright, what are the public sector works? Alright, like in government, basically in public sector enterprise, government has many roles. Alright, first role which is given in your book is regulatory role. Regulatory role. Now, what is regulatory role? In this role, the government lays all the rules and regulation. Rules and regulation. Government formulates all the rules and regulation under which the private would function. This means all the private company will have to function under the rules given by, regulation given by the regulatory authority of public sector enterprise, that is the government. Clear? Second point, promotional role. Now, what do you mean by promotional role? Clear? What do you mean by promotional role? Now, again, very important it is. Promotional role means the government develops all the infrastructural facilities. Now, what are infrastructures? Like development of transport, communication, power, banking, all these systems which our government is developing to promote, alright, to promote what? The essentials for the primary and the secondary sector of the economy, because these are the essential part. If you want to develop your industry, if you want to develop your factory, if you want to develop your country, if you want to see the growth of your nation, you will have to work on the development of transport, communication, power, banking. These are the major things where development is required, and government, after doing all those things, promoting both the secondary and the primary sector, so that many people from the other nation also, or from our country also, they can start their business after seeing all these good condition of road, good condition of transport, good condition of power, banking, everything. Then only people will come and invest. Otherwise, if the place is an isolated land where no current, no road, why people will come? Alright, but the government also gives various incentive to whom? To the backward region of the country. Why they give backward region in the country some incentive? Only that is the promotion government is giving to, so that they should come up. And obviously when they will come up with a new industry, new factory, growth will be there, job will be there, welfare will be there. For these things, government completes the promotional work. Third one is entrepreneurial role. Entrepreneurial role, very important, very important. In this entrepreneurial role, government directly participate in economic activities, or economics related to money. Whatever money related things are there, activities are there, government participate in that one through maybe state ownership or through the management of public sector undertaking, that is PSUs. All the PSUs like BCCL and all that are PSUs, their government interfere when the matter comes of economic. When economic activity, some problems comes, that time the role of government is start as an entrepreneur to check whether whatever issues are coming up, it is correct or not correct. Clear? Now come role of, next point, role of public enterprise in the Indian economy. Now, what are the rules? Alright, what are the rules of public enterprise in the Indian economy? First rule is promotion of welfare. One thing you should keep note, only public sectors are there which are taking care of our welfare, not the private organization. Private organization main function is the profit making, that's all. But public sector enterprise, they work very hard, and after working very hard, they help us to give means benefit, or you can say the welfare they are checking of us. In our economy, the public sector enterprise are being used as an instrument to promote economic growth with social justice. Remember, see the word economic growth with social justice. What do you mean by economic growth with social justice? Means economy will grow, but the justification will also be there with the society, with the social people. because this means we are coming under that one. All right, whatever, like I can give you example of petrol, diesel, whichever we are paying around about 80 rupees nowadays. The price of petrol and diesel are now. Then also government is giving subsidy in that petrol and diesel. For that only we can say that there is social justice still prevailing because of the public enterprise. Otherwise private will not give you anything. Second point, very important, infrastructure. Just now I dealt again the same point, infrastructure. Now I don't know how many of you know, without the development of infrastructural facilities, like again just now same I repeated, transport, communication, power, irrigation, education, industries, what will happen? Economic development is not possible. Economy will never grow. It is not possible to develop your economy. But these infrastructural facilities are developed only by the PSU, that is public sector undertakings, clear, of the country. Because just now I said, private people does not take interest in the development. Why? Because their main motive is the profit. Main motive is the profit, and because of that, infrastructural part is totally dependent on government or the public sector undertakings. Third one is strong industrial base. Now you'll be getting shocking news in this one. As you know, the first 3 decades after independence, first 3 decades, this means 30 years after independence, whatever industry grew up, that was the plus point for us. Why? Because we cannot deny that whatever the rapid industrialization took place in the first 3 decades after independence was mainly because of public sector. And because of that, we should pray God, this public sector enterprise should be there for us throughout our life is there. This means till the earth is there, PSU should be there. Clear? And by developing a strong industrial base, the public sector has now opened the path of rapid industrialization in the country. Because of all those 30 years, whatever industry grew up, because of that today, government is getting opportunity, government is getting the plus point or the advantage to start new industries, and which is known as rapid industrialization of the country is taking place. Now the fourth point is export promotion and import substitution. Now this is very important. Our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi every time focusing on this one, because when we import things, this means our currency is going to their currency. Our currency will go down. Our currency will go to other country. When we supply goods from our country to other country, that time what happened? The foreign exchange earnings we are getting too much. It is given the data also in 2016-17. Public sector export stood rupees 87,620 crore as against rupees 35 crore in 65-66. You can see to it. In 65-66 it was 35 crore only, but in 2016-17 you can check it out, it is 87,620. This means we should export more and more, and import means I will say no need to import only, as Mr. Modi is telling us, our Prime Minister, because whatever we are importing, we should develop in our own country. We should produce in our own country. That will help us. Now, number 5, generation of employment. Now, this is very important. When public sector will come up, more and more job will be given to the people. The establishment of PSU, India has giving lakhs and lakhs jobs every year. Clear? You can see to a central PSUs employed 11.31 lakh. It is the data of 2016-17. This means in public sector undertaking, 11.31 lakh people are working. Clear? This means in 2020-21 it increased more. Clear? Next is number 6, reduction reduction in regional disparity. Now, this is very important. Now, public sector enterprise can be used as an instrument for developing all those areas which are backward, because people who want to invest their own capital will never go to the backward region. And what to do with the backward region? How to increase, how to develop? Then you will have to call the PSU, because PSU can go to those areas where it is fully backward, to remove the disparity. Alright, to reduce the disparity, government can go there and they can start, and slowly you will see that area flourish like anything. Clear? These things helps the economy to grow, the country to grow, and the area to grow. Next one, number 7, reduction in income disparities. Now, this is also very important. I can give you one example first, then I will complete this one. Suppose two teachers, government teachers, joined today. One joined in Dumka and one joined in Dhanbad. Now, after 1 month, ask both the teacher, what is your salary? And both the teacher, they are teaching 9 and 10. Clear? Any subject, they are teaching 9 and 10. Ask both the teacher after 1 month, how much salary is credited in your account. That time, if Dhanbad teacher is telling you that my payment of particular month is 45,000 rupees, remember the Dumka fellow will also get 45,000 rupees. It is only because of PSU, because PSU is only there which can reduce the income disparity. Otherwise, the private one, I can give again example. 4 schools are there nearby to Dinobli Mall. One is JNMS, second is Carmel, third is DAV, and fourth is Dinobli. Ask the teacher teaching 9 and 10, there you ask, their salary is different because of private organization. Only income disparity can be reduced by the help of PSUs. Why? Because the first, profit of the public sector enterprise may be used by the government on the welfare program to help the poor people. Because government, whatever the income they earn, they are using that money to help the poor people. First case. Second case, public sector enterprise can help the workers by giving them higher wages. You can see, even if the inflation is there in the market, if the price increased in the market of the commodity, that time government also increases the DA, dearness allowance of all the workers, the government workers or central or the state workers, they increase. But in private, it is not like that. Yes, now you'll say, sir, in private salary is very good in few sectors. Few sectors salary is very good, but in few sectors salary is not good. But in government, you can see all the sector as per their category, salary is almost same. You go throughout the country, maybe little bit ups and downs will be there, but the salary is almost at par in all the states. Clear? Next day, we will start the problem of public sector enterprise in India.